Good morning. Ish. Yeah, it's still morning. It is March 14th. It is a Saturday. So it's supposed to be squat day, or not squat day, deadlift day. This was for the deadlift challenge. I didn't actually deadlift today besides that one rep. But I'm supposed to deadlift today, but I ended up taking a rest day yesterday. So I will deadlift tomorrow on a Sunday. So that's how that's gonna go. But so today I did what I was supposed to do on Friday, which is pull day number 2. So I did weighted pull-ups and dumbbell rows, which I honestly don't really like. My left, I don't know, I don't know if I have like longer arms or something like that, but I have to be like a lot more upright, which seems like it defeats the purpose of the bent over part. Maybe not, I don't know. But my left side doesn't feel like it gets as good of a pump or whatever. I feel like there's like some clicking in my shoulders when I do it, and it's just not great. I much rather do like cable rows. So after I did the dumbbell rows, I only have 50-pound dumbbells, and then I have like an adjustable kettlebell and a kettlebell that's like 80 pounds. So I ended up just switching to the 80-pound kettlebell because honestly the adjustable one sucks to adjust. I don't feel like doing that, and it's in kilos, and I don't feel like doing math. So I should have just used the machine right away or the pulley tower, but I didn't. So afterwards I just did some stuff on the pulley tower, try to feel like I got a good pump in there. And I liked that a lot more, so I might just do that. Maybe do single arm ones too on here. And then the problem with the cable tower is like I have to build out the foot pad a little bit, especially for single arms when I want to like kind of really twist into it. But with it being light, that might not be a big deal if I just sit back, because the friction of me on the floor probably won't get pulled by 100 pounds very easily, so it'll probably work out. I mean, when I do it with both arms, I feel like I get a pretty good stretch, because like you can only go so far with both, but if I have one, I feel like I can really reach forward with it. I mean, you could probably do that with both, but for the muscles I'm trying to hit, I felt like the double arm was okay. So that went good, and then did some barbell curls. And I keep going back and forth, like, and this is kind of the annoying thing about trying to track everything. Like, I don't know how to track like cheat reps. Like, if I get to failure on a barbell curl, it like clicks in my brain like, oh, just lean back, or like give it some momentum and get it back up and then do some force negatives. But that seems like a lot to track. So I'm like, as soon as I can't get it up with like perfect form or very close to it, that's it, I'm done, that's failure. I don't necessarily think that's a good thing. It might be, because I'm working out 6 days a week, and then I have all the other pull movements, and it's just like biceps are kind of an afterthought, but I'm kind of hitting them indirectly on everything else that I do. And since I'm doing like 6 days a week, and it's not like my sleep is the greatest, maybe it's a good thing that I don't push it that hard. But I've never really experimented with that, so I don't know. Maybe it would be good, but I don't know. it's whatever I'm doing, it's working, and feel like I'm staying pretty consistent with it. But something mindset-wise that I kind of found out this week. So I've been in training for work all week, and so they cater in food, and it's like I had like Olive Garden and some like taco place, and what was the first day? First day was something pretty crazy too. But so just like not great food, and I kind of have, I don't know, I kind of have a little bit of an eating disorder anyways, where I have one of those things where it's like, if there's food in front of me, I will just gorge myself until I'm like sick and can't move, just because I love eating so much. I get such a massive dopamine spike from it. So I'm trying to work on that, but with the training, I was like, oh, I barely get to eat this, so I'm gonna eat a whole bunch of it. So I did that like every single day, and every single day I was like, I'm not gonna do it, and then I'll do it. So every day I felt like just complete garbage. And normally I track all my calories and stuff, and that helps not to overeat. But I didn't do that because I didn't have a scale. I didn't want to be that guy. We only had so much time, and it was like, how am I gonna figure this out? So this entire week I haven't tracked anything, but I've weighed myself, and my app says I gained like a pound over this week, which is surprising that it's not more, and it probably will be more as I start tracking again. Plus we have some like celebrations this weekend for some stuff. So yesterday I didn't have training, but I still just vegged out like crazy. But anyways, I don't think I've like gained an absurd amount of fat or anything like that, especially not over a week. But like just looking at myself in the mirror, I feel like my muscles are smaller and I'm a lot more fat. And I know like if I'm working out consistently and I'm eating good, I feel like I'm getting really jacked and really skinny, or like really fit looking. But then like I'll look at when I've done that in the past, and I thought like, oh, look how slim my waist is, look how big my muscles look. And then like looking back on it like months or a year later, I'm like, I wasn't really that big or really that thin there. So all that to say, it's like there's this weird mindset thing that I'm noticing with it, where it's like I'm seeing results, even though they're probably more drastic to me as I look back, because I'm like hyper fixated on it, and they just seem that much better. Versus like if someone else saw me, it'd probably be like pretty small. And I found that that's very motivating to me. But it's one of those weird things. So this part might get cut out, but I noticed the same thing like with my firstborn. He came out like a few weeks early, and he's pretty malnutrition. He's small. Malnutrition. He wasn't getting the proper nutrients that he needed to in the womb, just for some complication stuff. But anyway, so he came out like 4 pounds. And there's a really old, like weird, it's got like a cult following to a movie called Eraserhead. And I've only seen bits and pieces of it from like when I was a teenager, but there's a part in it where there's this preemie baby, and it looks like kind of alienish. That's kind of how my son looked, if I'm remembering the way that baby looked, just because he was so small. But in my mind and in my wife's mind too, like we thought he just looked like a normal baby, and then whenever we saw other babies, we were like, oh, that's a really fat baby, even though they were normal babies. And then looking back on pictures now, he looks so little and so preemie, and I just remember thinking at the time he just looked like a normal baby to me, and it was just like, I don't know if it was just kind of like a God thing where it's like we had to do what we needed to do at that time. Like I have videos of me like burping him, and I'm just like, he looks so fragile, and I'm just burping him like a regular baby. I'm not like being rough with him, but looking back on it, I'm just like, oh, how was I not super careful or freaking out? Because he was so fragile. But I think it was just one of those things where it's like we saw him how we needed to see him to give him the care that he needed. So it's kind of like that, but like a very less important type mindset where it's like I'm seeing myself how I need to be seen to motivate me to keep going, because motivation is one of the hardest things for me in being consistent. So it's interesting how our minds do that, or at least my mind does that. But that's a little bit of a rant, more than normal, but just something that I noticed. So yeah, mindset does a lot. So anyways, thanks, bye.